Hi there, thank you so much for joining me today. This video is my top purchases of 2020. I think I have 7 makeup products and 5 non-makeup products, and I really didn't have a ton of things I wanted to talk about in this video because I really haven't been purchasing a lot in 2020 with the exception of all of the things I bought in November. In fact, I spent more in November than I did for the rest of the year. Most of those products I purchased, even if I do like them, I'm not going to mention them in this video because I haven't had them for too long. Let's start with eyeshadows. That's my biggest category. One brand that I discovered this year, and I'm really glad I did, is Sydney Grace. I purchased their Enduring Love palette a couple months ago, and I also picked up some of their singles in their Black Friday sales. And I've been playing around with these quite a bit and really enjoying the formula. The shimmers are what I heard about. Like, the shimmers are gorgeous and they are very pigmented and really wonderful to work with, and they don't crease, and they're just really, really good. And the mattes are the same. They blend really well. They're pigmented. They do have a lot of kick up. They remind me a little bit of the ABH matte formula. So if you're not a fan of that, these might not be for you, but the payoff and the different types of shades and the price as well. These singles, if you can get them on sale, they're around the same price as ColourPop. I had heard really good things about this brand for a long time, and I'm really glad I got to try them out, and I think that these are great. I have a Too Faced palette here, and this is the Born This Way Natural Nudes palette, and some people might look at this and think it's kind of boring, but I really love it. I love that the undertones are a little bit warmer and pinker. The mattes are divine. This replaced my Tarte In Bloom palette. I had had that for a number of years. I really enjoyed it, but then it got to the point where it was getting a little bit older and I wanted to move on, and I got this to replace it as like my basic matte palette. I enjoy using this. I always love the looks I create with it. I can use it on its own. I can use it as a companion palette, and I just don't hear enough people talking about this palette. And the other 2 palettes I want to talk about are both from ColourPop. This one's probably not going to be a surprise to you, the Going Coconuts palette. I hear people rave about this, and I think it's for a very good reason. This isn't just a basic neutral palette to me. I think the mattes having such different undertones and then having 3 really well performing but different shimmer shades is a great way to build a neutral palette. If I were to travel anywhere, I would bring this with me, and this shade right here in the middle, Cocoa Crush, is just divine. It's so metallic, it's so beautiful. It's kind of like a warm shimmery taupe color. Beautiful. And overall, I'm really glad I purchased this. I got this at the beginning of the year, and I've really enjoyed using it ever since. And the next one is the Flutterby palette. I did a little comparison of this and the Making Mauves palette in a video recently, and I mentioned that the Flutterby, even though it does have a random glitter shade in there, I think is better than the Making Mauves palette. I think it has better variety, probably because it has more shades than the Making Mauves, and I just think it has more actual mauve colors in here, which is something I've really been loving all year. I've been getting really into pinky, mauvey eyeshadows lately, and so I'm glad to have this in my collection. I think it's gorgeous. This shade right here, Sunflare, is a very unique color to my collection. You have a ton of really great mid-tone mauves for building out the crease, which is one of my favorite crease colors, is like a purpley mauve like this. You have some burgundies and some warmer browns to deepen it up. You have some taupes. You have some regular browns. I just think it's a really well created palette, and even though it does have one shade in here that I will probably never use on my eyes, I still think it's a really great palette to own. An eyeliner that I purchased recently and I've really been loving is this one from Essence. It's the Extreme Lasting Waterproof Eye Pencil. I have the shade Black Love. It is a matte black. This is something that lasts in the waterline, and if you do apply it and give it a second to dry before closing your eye, it won't transfer to the lower lash line either. It's incredibly creamy. It's very easy to work with once you put it on, but then if you let it set, it will stay put, and it's incredibly pigmented. It's beautiful. They do have a couple other shades that I plan on picking up once I use up some of the other eye pencils in my collection, but I really enjoyed this product, and it's only like $3. A product I used up was a mascara from Tarte. It was the Tartist mascara. It had a very plasticky brush with short bristles that were kind of farther spread apart compared to other brushes, and I liked that because I could really get into my lash line and wiggle through and comb through and coat every single lash I have. I do have shorter, thinner lashes, and they are blonde, so I want something that's really going to be able to get in there and coat everything and also help with the curl a little bit. I just thought it was a great formula. I like that you can buy a mini size of it and not have to spend like 20 something dollars on it. And the last one are 2 lip products that I purchased recently, but they are a formula that I've been using for years and really love, and that is the 2 Stila liquid lipsticks that I purchased for $10 each on the Ulta Black Friday sale. I got the shade Palermo and I got Beso. I did go a while without purchasing any new lip products, and if I did, it was usually like 1 or 2 a year every 6 months. And I felt like these 2 colors, they work really great for this season, but they also are just nice additions to my lip collection. They're shades that I had kind of been looking for a while. I wanted a true red, and then I wanted a deeper, more reddy brown, and I was able to find them in a formula I really enjoy, and I'm really glad I have these. These are 2 of my favorite lip products I purchased this year. I have a couple non-makeup products that I wanted to talk about. The first ones are these AOA magnetic palettes. I got the ones in the wood finish, and I purchased the regular size, and then I purchased a smaller size. I think this one is like $8 or $9, and this one's like $6. I can't remember, but I do think I got them on sale on top of that. And they're just really great for when you want to organize your single shadows in a certain way. Like for this one, I wanted to grab some of the green shades from my singles collection and put them into something. It's really great also if you have some singles that are bigger than the typical single size, or maybe they're square and you still want to put them together in a palette, but you don't want something as big as the full size. They're affordable. They have a ton of really gorgeous designs on their website. I heard about these from Sarah Hubler, and I'm really glad to have these in my collection. They help me sort my singles in new and interesting ways. I have a Pixie Glow Tonic here. I discovered this and finally purchased it this year and really love it. This has replaced the glycolic acid toner from Mario Badescu that I was using earlier, and it's also replaced one of my favorite glycolic masks from Andalou Naturals, the Pumpkin Honey Glycolic Mask. This is just so much easier to use. I also really appreciate that they sell this in a variety of sizes, and so if you wanted to get the best average cost, then you could buy the biggest size, which is what I did since I only have a little bit left of this one. And this is one of those rare skincare products where I actually see a tangible difference in my skin after using it. Over the course of 2020, I was on the hunt for the best makeup removing product out there. I wanted something that was really fast and easy to use and something that was relatively affordable, and I finally found the BFD cleansing oil from Fourth Ray Beauty, which is the ColourPop skincare line. I have one in my bathroom that's almost finished, but I thought I'd show you just a new one that's in better shape than the one I'm using. And if you can see, it's just kind of like a clear yellowish oil, and I use 2 pumps and that covers my whole face. It takes all my eye makeup off, my lip makeup. I can kind of move it down to my neck a little bit too to make sure I get makeup off of my neck. Full price, this is $14, but it's relatively easy to get these on sale or at least at a discount. And I've been using the one that I have open for a long time now. I feel like I get a ton of use out of it, more so than the Dermalogica oil cleanser that I had used previously this year. That one I feel like I went through so fast and it was so expensive. This one is a much better value and it does exactly what I want it to do, and it works the same as the Dermalogica oil, so I think this is great. And my last one is a perfume. It's the Elizabeth & James Bourbon perfume. This one, I just love the way this smells so much. It definitely has a more traditionally masculine scent because it does have that kind of smoky element, but it's not smoky where you smell like you were just coming out of a bar. It has like a sweet smokiness to it. I found this on Costco for like a huge discount. In general, I recommend looking at Costco because sometimes they have really big discounts on really nice skincare and fragrance and makeup as well, so I would always look there. I feel like it changes out regularly. That's not always the same stuff, so sometimes you can find a hidden gem like I did with this one. If they sold the Nirvana White as well, I would get that too because that's also one of my favorite perfumes, but this is the one I bought this year and I love it. So those are all of my favorite purchases of 2020. Like I said, I do have some products that I bought at the tail end of this year that I didn't feel comfortable including in this video yet, but they are products I really like. So there's a good chance you might see those in my best purchases of 2021 next year. Let me know what some of your favorite and least favorite things were that you purchased this year. But in the meantime, that's everything I have. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you in my next video.